Welcome to the Globetrottin ADs. This podcast is for you, athletic directors, activity coordinators, coaches, and program associates based in international schools around the world. The Globetrottin ADs is proudly hosted by Nick DeForest from the American International School Vienna and Matt Fleming from the American International School of Budapest. Here they are now, Nick and Matt and the Globetrottin ADs.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Globetrottin ADs. Today, we're kicking off with Season 2 of our Globetrottin ADs podcast. We're excited to begin a new round of interviews and topics to talk about, so we're really excited about different things on offer, and we have some more news that Nick will share about a new partner we're going to be working with, School Rubric.
Yeah, hello everybody, and thanks Matt. It's good after a little bit of a summer break to be back here in the basement and on the phone with you recording a podcast. So
yeah, getting our chops back. It's been a little bit.
Yeah. Took a little while to get the mic and everything all ready after the break, but the break was good. But I'm glad to be back and back to school and everything. And you mentioned School Rubric. We are super excited to be one of the podcasts on their website and on their platform. They've just redone our logo for us. So big thanks to Ryan Sagar and Wallace Ting for all the support the last few months. And if you don't know School Rubric, you definitely need to check it out. They have stuff for everybody on their website. And basically, they're a team of educators with experience in the U.S. and international in K-12 and higher education. And they're really interested in sharing stories, connecting educators worldwide. And that's really how we found each other, seeing the website, and I wrote to them. And they have tons of stories, articles, professional development, interviews, podcasts like this one, and other content on their site. And we're honored to be working with them. So please check them out and share your story with them as well.
Yeah, really excited. It seems like a lot of the stuff they're doing goes hand in hand with what we're trying to do, and just reaching out with people and sharing information and making all of ourselves better professionals in our field.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thanks to those guys for sure.
Yeah, and as we partner with them for Season 2, we're looking to keep things not too different than last year. We'll try to do a pod every 2 weeks or so. I think more frequently right now. And some good things lined up already. Dan Schuster from NFHS Learn will join us. We're going to do a joint podcast with the guys from Beyond the Bench and Off the Record. That'll be pretty soon, and it should be pretty fun. And then a little later on in the year, we'll get one with Lachlan McGregor, who's a new AD in Kuwait. And yeah, lots more other stuff in between, right, Matt?
Yeah. Looking forward to connect with those guys from the other podcasts from Behind the Bench and whatnot, because just interested to see what their current situation is, how they've handled it there in the States with their programs. And I know it's different everywhere you go in the States. Every state is different right now with how they're approaching reopening and what they're going to do with the sports program. So that'll be actually super interesting, because I know those guys are all coming from different states as well.
Right. But of course, we don't have the whole season mapped out, and we go week to week. So if someone's listening out there and you have an idea for a topic, or you want to be a guest, just let us know. Drop us a line, and we'd love to have you on. But we definitely want to look back on Season 1, right? A little bit today, not too long of an episode.
Yeah. Kind of like I guess a debrief or looking back. This is like kind of a little bit of a closing ceremony, be an opening ceremony,
yeah,
like we do for our teams when at the end of our season. So we won't be giving out any awards just yet for MVP or maybe most improved listener. Although that could be something we could think about for the future.
Yeah.
We did kind of have an ad hoc award for the conference, so
right.
that was good for Mike and Bangladesh. But no, I think this is a great time to look back on what the idea was, essentially in the beginning when you came up and approached me about it, and then how we got it kicked off last December when we were at the NIAAA conference, and then just kind of how it progressed, and then we all had to experience the whole lockdown situation.
Right.
So yeah, this is a great time to do that.
Yeah. And, for any new listeners, obviously with reaching us through School Rubric, kind of a look back to the episodes. And of course, all our episodes from season 1 are there on our website to go back and check out. So we'll give you a few of the top ones, at least from our perspective and from some of the listeners. But yeah, all 22 are there to go back and listen to at any time. 22 episodes though, Matt, almost 2,500 listens. But really, wow. I think for our community, the coolest thing is being heard in over 100 countries around the world.
Yeah, that was great. So, it's great that we have this little community going and sharing of ideas, and then hopefully we'll just keep the momentum going, and maybe we'll add a couple more countries to the list.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's start with you, Matt. What, there were lots of great ones, but what was your favorite episode?
Yeah, I mean, looking back, I was looking at the list today of all the folks that we chatted with, and I was kind of surprised that we got as much done as we did. That was a lot of fun. How everything just kind of took off, and each episode was a different topic, different folks coming in, right. Good range of stuff for sure. In regards to the topics and the things we talked about, and actually how long we were able to carry out some of the conversation. It was great. It was good meaty stuff.
We can talk.
Yeah, we can chat a little bit. Yeah, we're going. I think the favorite for me is maybe, I don't know if it's maybe towards the end, but I don't know. It's just the topic that we talked about was with Greg Dale from Duke University. For me, that was the favorite because I found him to be just this treasure trove of topics we could explore with him. There's so many things we could dig into with him. I mean, we could have him on multiple times over the course of a season and always have something new and different to talk about. So he's a great resource for ADs, for coaches, parents, kids. He's a proven veteran in the field of sports psychology, which I think is pretty interesting. And just some great ideas that he was able to share with us. So I really enjoyed Greg. Plus, he's just super down to earth, very relatable and approachable, which was great. And I think the other highlight for me in talking with him, he offered an open invitation to come visit Duke, get a first-class tour. So one of these days, I'd like to go there and see what the university looks like and just check it out. One of these days, I get back down to North Carolina.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, well, that great episode. I also enjoyed it, but let's hear a little bit from it.
I spend a lot of time talking to parents. I think it's us. We are the ones that kind of are screwing our kids up a little bit in terms of not letting them fail, and we have our hearts in the right place and our intentions are great, but what we do in service sometimes, or just justice and injustice, I should say, sometimes when we try to fix everything for them. So I really have a passion for trying to help parents because I see it with the athletes I work with in college.
Yeah, so great stuff. And thanks again to Greg for his openness and willingness to come on and talk with us and come to the conferences as well. All right, Nick. So yeah, what's your favorite episode? Throw it back to you. What was your favorite episode or interview and why?
For me, definitely the two we did, Laurie and Jordan from ICMEC, the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children, really stuck out to me. Really, really great stuff, great tips for really people just like us in international schools and how we deal with kids that we know, kids of friends of ours, of colleagues, and we see them in different situations. A lot of good stuff. But really, I like talking about it because it's something that people don't want to talk about. They're not comfortable with it. And
not a comfortable topic for sure.
Yeah, but that's why we even need to talk about it more, which is why I wanted to highlight it here as well, because honestly, Matt, you and I, and we've been in a room and sat beside in meetings someone who's in jail right now for child offenses. So it's happening. It's out there. So I think we got to keep talking about it.
Sure.
Yeah, and that was another Ben Smith, who's the head of sports in Luxembourg. That was his favorite episode as well, and he said that it really made him think about what happens behind closed doors, how the safety of all children is important. So thanks, Ben, for that. And let's hear from Laurie.
There's no one way. It's not we write a policy and then everyone knows what to do and then they do it. Because really, we know from looking at lots of cases, Bill Vahey's offending, for example, happened in a school that was one of the very few schools at that time that had very robust child protection policies in place.
Wow.
But they weren't carried over into the environment. So it was a very casual, and we can all identify with this. Sometimes I think we love international school teaching because it's a bit more casual, right? We might know students' families. We might cross some of those boundaries, even using first names when we're out of school. So it doesn't mean that every professional educator is an offender. Very, very few are. The vast majority are not going to ever harm a child.
Yeah, so thanks to Laurie again for coming on. Again, broadening our topic range, and she's still continuing to send more information to us about topics related to ICMEC and child protection. So another great resource.
Yeah, we mentioned Ben. We had some other people write us. Dennis Harder, who's the principal in Bangkok, Chris Mott's new school. He said that the episode with Chris Mott was his favorite about all year sports. So that's pretty good. Dennis listening to his new AD talk before they've even met. And I don't think they've met yet, right? Chris is still in lockdown.
He's in as we speak, he's in a hotel room quarantine. So I think he's got about 6 days left. So hang in there, Chris. We're thinking about you, buddy.
Yeah. And Chris's favorite episode wasn't the one with himself in, although maybe he just didn't want to say that. But Chris said that he liked how the season introduced him to some new people and new things he didn't know. So like Nathan and Greg and the 3D Institute.
Uh-huh.
That's great. Hopefully we can do that for a lot of people. Introduce them to new ideas, new things they didn't know about.
Yeah, and Horner, Dave Horner from Belgrade, he chimed in, and his was Mark Hall again. Just allowed him a chance to take a little closer look at the program and how he likes how it's presented. And it's just great info for coaches, ADs, but also teachers and parents. So,
yeah. Of course, Mike, you mentioned him already, but of course, Mike answered. He's great for things like this, and appreciate you, Mike. He said the focus on women in sport was one of his favorites, especially how all the conversation that started on Twitter. So we had a lot of back and forth of people talking about a woman that inspired them, right, Matt? That was one of your ideas, and you posed a question, and it was pretty good. Yeah, I think we want to keep things like that going this year. I want to add that in, maybe a question to everybody each week. Maybe keep the conversation going on Facebook or Twitter, and we'll have a question later on before we leave today.
Yep.
Yeah, and so season 2, we're back, and we're also back with our 2 sponsors, Cookery and Coach Evaluator. So we're really thankful to have them back and their support. And it was funny, right? We were talking about Coach Evaluator just this morning.
So I'm sure other folks out there, you have your WhatsApp groups, your chat groups. So we have a little one, Globetrottin AD group between Dave and Chris and I and Nick. And actually, Coach Evaluator came up because Chris is in the market or looking for some new evaluator tools. So we definitely recommended Coach Evaluator to him because I believe you can still get that discount, right, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mentioned Globetrottin ADs and save a bunch of money on the annual fee.
Yep.
Yeah, and Cookery, we just finished unpacking our summer order, and the coaches are already loving their new sweater. This year's addition to the coaches kit. And with our new logo, Marcus, our great rep at Cookery, has been working with us to get us some Globetrottin AD branded gear. So we're super excited about that. But let's start talking about them and hear the ads, hear from those 2 sponsors, and then we'll be right back.
Coach Evaluator is the premier coach evaluation software for schools and athletic organizations and the preferred coach evaluation solution of the NIAAA and the Positive Coaching Alliance. The system is completely customizable with an always growing evaluation template library for athletic directors to reference. There are not only evaluations for ADs to use, but also self-evaluations and parent-player evaluations of coaches. Learn more about digitizing and simplifying your coach evaluation process by visiting www.coachevaluator.com. Mention Globetrottin ADs to receive a $200 discount on the yearly rate.
Kukri are a global multi-sport clothing brand specializing in providing the world's most prestigious schools with bespoke-made and designed team uniforms for students of all standards and abilities. If you are frustrated by inconsistent colors, branding, costs, and sizing across your school's uniforms, then it's time to discuss an offering where every sport is available from softball to soccer for male and female athletes at rates to suit your budget. To find out how Kukri could elevate the apparel of your student athletes to a professional level, email the team at contact@kukrisports.com. A dedicated sales manager will offer you a quote today. Mention this ad and receive a special offer on your coach or PE staff order.
All right, welcome back, and thanks again to our sponsors there. So one of the last topics Nick and I thought we wanted to share with you guys today was some of the most surprising things that happened from season one, and we'll share our thoughts about that. For me, it was a couple different things. I think first was the growth of our network. We've kind of created this mini global community, which is great. So we've met new friends along the way. We've shared with old friends, and it was great at the conferences to see some familiar faces, but also to reach out to new people who are either new to the field or as being an AD or an activity coordinator, maybe it's a new job. So hopefully we'll be able to help those people out with these different resources and just experiences that we bring to the table when we have these meetings. So that was a great surprise for me. Also, how the online conferences came together back in the spring. We became more than just a podcast at that point, which I thought was great, and how quickly and in a way how easily it came together, because it was all done online. It was all done quickly, and there's a lot of work on definitely your part, Nick, with making all those contacts, and then with Chris and I and as well as Dave organizing the Zoom groups, but. The collaboration was fantastic, and I guess it wasn't a surprise, but I guess it was a surprise about how easily it came together. And then just, we're adding to our professional repertoire. I felt like we were becoming more global. A lot of the stuff we did related to professional development was a lot of it was done through what the NIAAA could offer us, which is always great too. But I think we've just branched out a little bit from them, and we're doing our own thing, which is great.
Yeah, and it's amazing when you look back all the stuff, and really it's because of the coronavirus, how it all happened. But and that's really the most surprising thing for me is, when we were doing this in December, just thinking, okay, podcast once every 2 weeks, nice and easy, and it seemed like it was perfect planning for us to get that up and ready, get the groundwork all laid, and then bam, just exploding like that once we all got stuck inside. So yeah, I guess that's the most surprising thing for me, just how the season started and then finished. It was all perfectly lined up, like we planned it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, just thanks for everybody who contributed to making it a success, and hopefully everybody will stick around for season 2 and beyond. Hopefully we won't have to do the online conference anytime soon. But in the eventually, I'm sure we'll be able to do some kind of networking. We had talked about maybe doing something for students, an online student-centered conference, which we're hoping will come together. But that's the other great thing that came out of this collaboration was the ideas of what we can do moving forward to involve kids and maybe some parents or coaches, something else down the road.
Right. Yeah, and as we, next week we're going to do our, let's say, first real episode of the season. Not that this isn't a real one, and we're looking at doing starting school. So we'll talk about how we're starting school this year and what it looks like maybe around the world, or at least for us. We've been in school for a week, and I know you're just starting next week.
Yep.
And so we'll do a little bit look back of how the year ended and how the year started, And also next week, we want to talk a little bit about books and maybe put together our favorite book list. So that's our, let's say, community question for the week that we want to hear from you about. And just, let us know your favorite book. And I don't want to hear about Harry Potter or anything like that, right, Matt?
What?
But, no. That's definitely the favorite book of my kids right now, all of them. But no, favorite
I gotta go. Okay.
sports book or PD type book. Yeah. So let us know. Let us know out there. We'll write on social media as well. But it'd be great to hear from you, and we'll try to put together a Globetrottin 80s book list for everybody. And then we want to kind of do a book club at some point. We'll get some more information about that. But just maybe pick one book out of that favorite book list, and people around the world can all join our book club, and we'll meet on Zoom and talk about it. So I think that might be a pretty cool thing to do. Yeah.
So hit up your resource library.
Yeah.
Hit up your library at school.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some good books out there that you can peruse in the sports section.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Thanks again, School Rubric, Wallace and Ryan, for everything till now and coming. So we're happy to be a part of your network. And
just a reminder, if you're a new listener, if you've connected to the Globetrottin ADs through School Rubric, to learn a little bit more about Nick and I, you can go to the Globetrottin ADs website. You can learn more about podcasts, the resource network we've got going on, and check us out.
Until next week, this has been another episode of the Globetrottin ADs.